Hi there, my name is Lisa. Today I am designing for Paper Maze and I'm going to pre-warn you, this is going to be a messy video. It's going to be full of mixed media joy. I'm planning on making, I think I'm doing 10 gift tags. I've just picked up some tags. Some of them are a bit tatty, they've got marks on, fingerprints. These are really at the bottom of my gift tag pile, but they're brilliant for this kind of thing. We're just going to cover them in papers and stencils and inks and you name it, it's going on these tags. And in case you're wondering why, there's several reasons. One, it's a really fun way to play and just experiment, use all your favorite mixed media items, you use stencils, haul out your old stamps, just experiment and have fun. But they do make really good tags for gift tags. You can use them as card toppers and you can just use them for all things. Happy Mail swaps. I love making these kind of tags. I do them every year and I'm actually going to be using some of mine for a Happy Mail swap that I do with a group of friends. And they're just really fun, and it's a fun thing to do when you don't have huge amounts of time. Right now I've just got a short amount of time. I've got to do a trip to school, I've got some other bits and pieces to do, but the great thing is you can do these in between other projects. I have printed off my greeting onto A4 card. This is just really thin card. It's actually card that comes in the bottom of my printables orders. When I order postcards and various bits and pieces, it always comes in the bottom of the box, so I'm just reusing it rather than just binning it. I did get asked recently what I do with the leftovers. I always trim it off and then I will keep it. I have a tray for leftover card and I reuse it then. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to get my messy board out, clear this desk. Oh, by the way, I am using from Paper Maze this Simple Stories Freezing Season collection. I'm not sure yet which papers I'm using on this because I like them a lot. Definitely using this. I'll be cutting some of those out. And seeing the little houses, that inspired the greeting I've printed off, which is spreading Christmas cheer from our home to yours. So I need some little homes on there as well. These papers are beautiful. You can never go wrong with Simple Stories. They are always one of my favorite companies. They are always amazing. I think I'm going to keep that for a mountain. Actually, do you know, that would be really nice for the mountain rides at Magic Kingdom, those colours. Let's pop that to one side so I don't get carried away and use it. That would be lovely for colouring in. And then we've got this one, which will be another really nice one to use. Let's pop those away. And I'm going to use these, I think. I will link up below so you can take a look at these papers and the rest of the collection. I've also got some Cosmic Shimmer Shakers here as well that I plan to use. So again, anything that I use, if I can find it on Paper Maze, for example, I've got inks and I've got Dylusions Ink Spray, I've got stencils coming up as well. I will link everything up below for you. Whenever I get messy, I always use this board. It's an old box that was, let's see, is there a year on here? January 2004, that's how long. Scarlet Lime, so that was going back a very long time ago. I used to get the Scarlet Lime kits, which are now like Planner Society, the scrapbooking side of that. And I've been using this box ever since. There's so much texture on here now, but I always create on here. It's just brilliant because you don't have to worry about getting your desk messy. So let's put the tags down. See, look here, I've printed on those, stamped, but I'm not going to worry because they're about to get plastered. I am leaving the strings in because I am more than happy for them to get messy. And by doing 10 in a row or 10 in one go, it's so much easier. Right, let's start by getting some patterned paper down on them. I'm going to trim off some of this and stick this in the middle. So I've cut my strips down and I'm going to mark off where I need to cut, and then I'm going to cut 10 in that size. Now I've got my 10 little pieces and I'm going to stick those in the center of the tags, and it's one of those things, if I'm doing one, I may as well do 10. It's not going to take much time difference, and I'm left with 10 mini projects at the end rather than just the one. I'm going to use some of this Dylusions paint, and I've got an old gift card. This is my favorite way of applying paint. I'm going to dip it in and just spread it down. Let's remove some of that. We still want to see a little bit of the design through, and I'm going to repeat that on each one. And what I love is that each one will be completely different. And because I've got them all next to each other like this on the board, it even makes life like drying so much easier, as I can do all of them at once, again, rather than one by one. They remind me of woolly jumpers at the moment, like little Christmas jumpers. Now I'm going to be adding a little bit of texture now. I'm going to use this stencil here, which I will also link up below, and I'm going to use some paste, some texture paste. This is one of my favorite things to do on a tag, and I've cut this credit card in half. It just makes it a little bit easier, and I think I'm going to have 3. And there you can see it. So they're all done now. They look like somebody's actually just driven over them in snow. I've got this stencil here, this Special Touch. And again, I'm not being careful with how I'm laying it on. I've got a Dylusions ink, and it's a little bit messy, but they look quite cool. And I've used this Camso Teal ink spray. So I've dried these off, and I'm now going to go around the edge of each tag with this ink pad. I'm also going to be doing it on the reverse, because I do want to add some wording on the reverse as well, and I don't want that to be completely plain. I am absolutely loving this 12 by 12 here, and I'm going to go through and cut out some of the little pictures to go on the tags. I've just spread a little bit of white paint over the center there, and I'm now just finishing cutting out the little images. So I've got all the little pictures cut out, and I'm now just trimming down. I want to stick some of the houses along the bottom of the tags as well. I'm going to add a little bit more texture. I've got a load of this cotton. I think it came free with some needles I bought, and I am going to wrap this around the center. So I'm just going to leave it loose like that, so that the cotton's kind of hanging. I might trim it slightly. So the tags are coming along really well. Everything is now stuck down and looking rather cute. And I do have rather messy fingers, but that's all part of the fun. Trim down these little word strips and start adding these next. So I'm just doing a little bit to the back now. I've cut down some paper for each of them to stick on the back, and now I've just trimmed off this from the stripy paper that I started off, and I'm going to just add a little bit to the end of each tag. I will then end up adding my personal details on the back of the tag, my name and date and where I'm from for the Happy Mail swap. The backs look a little bit tidier now. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I love my black journal pen. I use a Uniball pen, and I'm just going to go around the outside, and I just always find by doing that it just makes it look really finished. So I just wanted to show you what a difference it makes by outlining. You can see here I've outlined all of these, but I haven't this one, and it just makes such a difference. It just really, really finishes them off. And the same with regards to the backs. They just look nice and finished. Now I'm just about finished with these, but I do want to add some of these cosmic shimmers. So I am going to add some glossy accents around the outside, and then I'm going to sprinkle it on. This dries clear. It also dries raised. The shimmers should then stick to them. Pink is very, very bright. I didn't quite expect it to be that bright, but that adds a really fun shimmer to those tags. I'm doing it over some 12 by 12 paper so that I can either empty it back into the pots, or as I will do here, I will just reuse it on my next tag. I've now got a little pot of paint and I am just going to run over the little bits of powder and almost treat it like a watercolour. Just washing it in, mixing it all up in between the textured bits, and then over here. I love how shimmery that is. And that will dry beautifully. Are still very wet. The glossy accents takes ages to dry. Now whilst they're drying, I'm going to add some stickles. This one is called Waterfall, and these are fab. They come in loads of different colours, and I'm just going to dot around the outside just to give it a little bit of sparkle. This is another one of those things that does take quite a long time to dry, but it's a really good and clean way of adding some sparkle. I think I've just about finished that little tag now. I will leave this to dry. So the tags are finished. I'm just going to let you have a closer look. I love how much the colours vary, and this all comes down to these little shimmer pots. They are so cool, and I highly recommend the stickles if you haven't used them before. Like I said, they come in loads of different colours, and they're a really easy and clean way of applying glitter to projects. Perfect for this time of year with card making and things like that. Now I am going to pop the tags once they're dry in these tiny little tags. They're envelopes. They're so cute, but I want them to match, so I am going to use some of the leftover papers and just attach the little tags or the little pictures to the bottoms. And I've used a hole punch on the circular paper and added the circular snowflakes to the envelopes as well. And I'm just about finished now. So that is the end of this video. All these sparkly, colourful little tags. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Please let me know if you have. Making little mini projects is so much fun. I really love this. Let me know if you love mixed media as well. Do you love getting your hands messy like I do? Let me know if you love to play with paints and inks and stencils and all these fun things. Please leave a comment below. Please subscribe if you don't already. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.